Okay, so I'm going to very briefly show you how the cloth modifier works. First things first, we're going to set up a box. We're going to make ourselves a cube. This is going to represent our table. I'm just going to make myself a cube which is even on all sides. I'm going to then put myself a plane. Above it, this plane is going to act as the cloth. Okay, this is what's going to be the cloth. Now, at the moment, the segments you can see are 4 by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That isn't enough information. There wouldn't be enough tessellation there when it folds around. So basically, what's going to happen is when I add the cloth modifier to this plane, it's going to wrap itself around the box. Now, at the moment, you can see the polygons are huge. So how is it going to wrap realistically as cloth around that box? Well, the answer is it's not. So what we need to do, come to modify, we need to add segments. I'm going to add 50 by 50. Now you can see we've got lots more polygons, and if I hit 7, I've got loads of polys, 5,000 polys already. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I've got two things I need. This is going to be the table, this is going to be the cloth, and what I'm going to do above it is I need a force. Basically what will happen is if I just put a cloth modifier on this, it won't know how to react because there's no gravity in the scene, there's no weight to the objects. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here, and this is a new option we haven't looked at before. Okay, we're going to come across the space warps. It's under create, space warps, and we're going to choose gravity. Okay, I need to add some gravity to my scene, some weight distribution. I'm just going to draw a box in top viewport. It doesn't matter too much where I position this, but I want it to be above my object. Okay, so you can see here's the logic. Okay, the gravity is going to push down, the tablecloth is going to mold itself around this box. Now at the moment the plane doesn't know it's meant to be cloth, but we're going to change that in a minute. So we've got our gravity, we've got all the three things we need in place to make cloth work. We just need to add a modifier. Before I do that, I'm going to turn my gravity down a little bit. So I've come into the modify settings. Now the strength at the moment is 1, that's full amount of gravity, that's a lot of gravity. Okay, for the purpose of this tutorial, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it down to 0.25, 0.25, so that it doesn't react too much. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move this to about here. Right, I'm ready to add my modifier and turn this into cloth. So, modifier drop down, cloth modifier. Okay, that's simple. But it won't react as cloth yet because it doesn't know what to do. First thing I need to do, I'm going to come to cloth forces, and those are the forces that are affecting the cloth. Okay, so what is governing how the cloth moves? I'm going to choose gravity. So there's forces in scene. That means in this whole general scene, what forces have I got I can choose from? Forces in simulation. So what ones are affecting the cloth? None. Okay, so what I'm going to do, click on it on this side. Click this button here to say I would like this force to affect this simulation. Hit OK. Right, still doesn't know it's cloth. We've still got to change that. I've got the cloth selected. I've got object properties. Hit plane. And I've got an option here. I'm going to choose cloth because this plane I want to act as cloth. You have a preset here. Now you could change this. This basically gives you full control over exactly how the cloth is going to react. But what I'm going to do is choose a preset. I can choose silk, satin, rubber, polyester, heavy leather, whatever I want it to be. Okay, so totally up to you which one you want to try. But I'm going to choose generic heavy. Let's just go for that. That's fine. So this now thinks it's cloth. But how does that cloth know when gravity is pushing down on it that it needs to hit that box and stop? Because at the moment it doesn't see that box, it will just keep going down. So what I need to do is I need to add an object at the top. I've only got one other object to add, which is my box. So I click on that, choose add. Now it's important because at the moment it looks like box is highlighted, but I've still got cloth, generic heavy. It still thinks I've got plane selected because I haven't clicked off. So it's important that you click off, click back on the box, and you can see actually now here are the realistic settings for it. So I don't need to make this cloth because the box isn't cloth, but I do need to make it a collision object. I'll make it a collision object. Now these boxes here are how close you're going to let the cloth get to the box before it starts to wrap around it. I don't want it to fully touch the box, I want some distance. What I'm going to do is change the depth to 5, change the offset to 5. I'm just going to leave these 2 for now just to see how it looks. We can always change it afterwards. So click on the plane, let's just make sure, still cloth, generic heavy, yep, excellent. Click on the box, collision object, fantastic. Once you're happy, press OK. I keep accidentally closing it, don't do that, press OK. Now we're ready. Now cross our fingers. Let's explain the logic one more time. Gravity pushing down on the cloth. The cloth knows that it should be a generic heavy material, which is going to collide with this object here, which is representing our table. So if I simulate, this is the button I need to do, press simulate. Let's watch that happen in real time. Should see that start to wrap, fingers crossed. There you go, around the box. I can just see there that it's starting to go through the box. Okay, it's starting to collide. Now once I'm happy with how that works, start to see I made myself some cloth. Now that can apply to capes, tablecloths, curtains, whatever you want it to be. So I'm going to Control Z that to go back. I'm going to come into Object Properties. And the reason I'm still able to see the box, obviously you could delete the box from underneath and it would look fine, but I want to keep testing this until I'm happy it works. So I've come in, I've changed my box collisions to 10 to 10, because I don't want the cloth to get all the way and touch the box below it. Press Simulate Local again, let's watch what happens. There you go, that's responding much better, okay. It's just touching the side of the box but not doing anything else. And then it will go down, it will collide, it will group together like cloth does. And that is everything. Enjoy.